Okay. I'm probably going to get interrupted by the bells, but we'll work with that when that comes. So, hello everyone. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come to my recital, my first graduate recital at Montclair. Even though it's not at Montclair, as you might be able to tell, I'm not in my house. I don't live in a place like this. I am at a church, and that's because I've been practicing at a church. I don't know if they're comfortable with me saying which church, but it's one in my town that I live in, Dunellen. And they were nice enough. I connected with one of the reverends or pastors here, and he's a tenor, and we met safely with social distancing, and we were able to work something out where I can practice here during the week. And it's a really nice live space, so hopefully the recording, it sounds nice on the recording. So let's see, anything else? There are chairs behind me. My teacher, Wendy Stern, who I also want to thank so much for being so supportive, just not even like through this, but just, for the entire time I've been studying with her. She's been a really good force to have in my life. But she told me to mention that there are chairs behind me, and that it's funny because when you're performing, normally the chairs are in front of you, but the chairs are behind me, so there's that. And the last thing, I think, before I get into the pieces, is that the repertoire for this recital is all solo flute music. So all music that was written for just flute alone, no piano or ensemble or anything like that. So it's a truly unique performing experience and a lot different from what I had initially planned. Most of this music I learned about a month ago. So it's been a process of having to quickly learn all of this repertoire. So with that being said, let's get into the first piece. And so before each piece, I'll talk a little bit about it so you kind of know what you're going to hear. So the first piece on the program is Hindemith Acht. And so this is one of Hindemith's most well-known works. Or one of his most well-known works is his Sonata for Flute and Piano, which he composed in 1936, which Melissa had performed on her recital. About 10 years before he composed this sonata, he wrote a piece for solo flute called Acht, which translates to 8 pieces or movements. These 8 movements are very short. Some of the shortest movements, such as the second movement, are only 40 seconds long, so you can wash your hands twice. Also, these movements don't have a stable tonal center, and not all the movements have an indicated meter. So the motives and the gestures in the movements are what really guide and shape the piece. So with that being said, hopefully all this works. I'll be checking the comments, I guess, afterwards to see if it doesn't. And that's Acht. Okay. All right. So, the next piece is Ibert's piece for solo flute. So coincidentally, Ibert's piece was composed the same year as the Hindemith flute sonata that I mentioned earlier. This piece starts with a cadenza-like introduction that centers around the note D. And like Ibert's well-known flute concerto, the really hard one, That was composed 2 years earlier. This piece is good for demonstrating virtuosity and freeness in playing. So despite studying at the Paris Conservatory, Ibert didn't emulate any of the popular genres during the early 20th century. So in this piece, you can hear how his style transforms multiple styles rather than honing in on just one. All right, the third piece on this program is Danse de la Chèvre by Arthur Honegger. So this is the earliest 20th century piece that is on the program, and it was composed in 1921. The title Danse de la Chèvre translates to Dance of the Goat, which Sarah might get because it's in French, and it's a programmatic piece. So the piece starts with a very delicate series of tritone phrases, as if the goat is just waking up from a dream. But quickly, the goat-like or more active theme comes during the beef, or the 9/8 section with the skipping, dancing goat. At the end, the piece returns to that delicate, serene introduction as the goat has tired itself out and it's going back to sleep. All right, so now we're at the final piece of the program. So thank you everyone who's taken the time to come and listen to me play. And also thank you again, Wendy, so much for being so supportive just throughout all of it. So the final piece that I'll be playing is the Allemande, or the first movement of Bach's Partita in A minor. However, each movement of this work refers to a dance. So the Allemande is a German-style dance. So Bach did not actually give a specific tempo, as the performer would be very familiar with the dances during the Baroque period and would be able to play in that style. So since this piece is for solo flute, the demands of the music are to act as the melody, the harmony, and the bass all in one. So as a result, there are no rest or places to breathe marked by Bach. So phrasing and shaping the melody in the harmony and bass are all really important to creating that natural space to breathe. And that's my recital. So thank you everyone for taking time to come listen to me play. I hope that you enjoyed it. I didn't know if I should bow or not. Here's a little bow. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for coming. All right, bye.